Hello, I'm with Michael Hannibal, CEO of Offshore Siemens. Michael, the 6 megawatt turbine that is being tested at the moment is obviously Siemens' next generation turbine. Where is that at the moment in terms of getting ready for production?
It's definitely getting there. It is so that we started, you can say, 2 years ago erecting the first one, so it has already now a lot of operational hours in its performing, and it has been installed both onshore and now also offshore. Here in UK, the first 2 offshore machines went up at Conflict Sands 3. So we are good on the way with our 6 megawatt.
There was a lot of talk earlier in the opening addresses about sort of the politicians about lowering cost of energy. What areas with the 6 megawatt turbine, areas do you see where it can lower the cost of energy?
It's clear that the turbines will have a role in lowering the price of offshore wind, clear. And the 6 megawatt is a contributor. It's a contributor due to the fact that it is larger, have a larger rotor, and the AEP will increase. But it's also a contributor in the sense that it will be efficient, really efficient in the installation, where some of the working hours done offshore today, they will be moved to the onshore side. So you can actually, with this new turbine, do a complete commissioning of the turbines onshore and commission the complete nacelle with all the technical components, have it ready onshore instead of working so much offshore.
And I mean, looking ahead beyond the 6 megawatt turbine, at events like these, there's often talk about the next generation on from that, and sort of 10 and 15 megawatt machines. How far away do you think that is, and what are the challenges in producing that sort of size of wind turbine?
I think before we go to the next generation of turbine, I think it's important to say that there are other contributors to the levelized cost of electricity from offshore wind going down. And that will be on foundations, it will be on the electrical infrastructure, where we also need to see innovation kicking in. And then we need to see industrialization kicking in on those elements. So talking about the levelized cost going to a certain level in 2020, that will be from contribution from the 6 megawatt turbine, from foundations, from electrical infrastructure. And then beyond that period, 2020, we all believe that there will be larger turbines. And Siemens, we are also on the track of looking into how could a larger turbine look like. Mm-hmm. And our Chief Technology Officer have said that 10 megawatt could be a platform for a next one.
And what are the obstacles in producing that size of turbine as far as how Siemens sees it? Because it's not just a case of making everything bigger.
That's absolutely right, because you can say everybody, of course not everybody, but many, they can build one turbine, and you can easily produce a prototype of a turbine or 1 or 2 test turbines. But when we get into the large scale of components going into those turbines, it's also about, you can say, your suppliers ramping up to the next generation of turbines where things are getting really bigger. Simple components which you can produce for a 3.6, 4 megawatt, they are getting more challenging to have those ready, ramped up to serial production for a 6. And that will of course continue when you look at a 10 megawatt, where it will be even bigger and larger components going into the turbines. Mm-hmm. So it will be challenging because you need, you can say, the complete supply chain, the value chain to develop as well.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned sort of manufacturing and production. I know the Siemens Wind Power CEO Felix Verleman's sort of spoken about the need to have fewer platforms and sort of and rationalise sort of across the manufacturing process. And I mean, is that something that how will that sort of move ahead, do you think?
I think it will be that you will have to look at your global footprint and see where can you source things for your manufacturing, and where will you then manufacture things so it supports the levelized cost going down. Mm-hmm. So it will be an equation of levelized cost going down, creating local jobs, saving some transport, transporting the right things to the right assembly points, and then do things locally where it can be made locally.
Excellent, thank you very much. That's great.